Hi, my name is Katie, and this is the OCD Illustrated channel. It's about cognitive distortions, but it's a little different than my previous videos. Rather than talking about a single specific distortion and giving examples, in this video I'm going to give examples of how one cognitive distortion can lead to another distortion, to another distortion, to another distortion. In case you haven't gotten the memo, a cognitive distortion is an unhelpful, inaccurate thinking pattern. And this video will hopefully make it really clear why they can lead to people feeling awful. There's a quick shot of a whole bunch of different distortions, but let's get to the main point, which is that once you have one distorted thought, it can lead to more distorted thoughts. Here's how. So I'm at the grocery store with my 3-year-old. And surprise, surprise, the 3-year-old throws a temper tantrum. Could be filtered through the perspective that I believe that I am in control of everything. That's the control fallacy right there. Which leads to my next thought, which is that his tantrum is all my fault. That's blaming. Which leads to, I'm a horrible mom, which is labeling. Finally, to wrap up this chain of distorted thoughts, I end with, I should never have had kids. I'll just screw them up. No more kids for me. Which included a couple shoulds. And if we zoom out to look at this whole thing from the event, which is the toddler tantruming, all the way through, I believe I'm in control of anything. That means his tantrum is my fault. I'm a horrible mom. I should never have had kids. Because of what I'm telling myself in that moment, I'm going to feel pretty frustrated, pretty angry with myself, and not all that equipped to make choices that will help the situation. So a quick caveat, I know that later on in this example I messed up one of my little event cards, but I wanted to use the example anyways, so just be flexible with me. Okay, so the event is one that may sound familiar from previous videos, but that I've cooked a meal and invited a friend over, and the friend likes the meat, which is the lasagna, but they don't like the vegetables. So maybe they make a face at the vegetables, which makes me think, goodness gracious, they hate the vegetables. Here's an example of filtering, because I completely didn't notice the fact that they're eating the lasagna. So I say, I'm sorry you don't like the meal. My friend says, no, I love the lasagna. See, there's my mistake. I wrote green beans. It's supposed to say lasagna. But that doesn't make me feel any better because I think, who cares if they like the lasagna or they like the meat? It's just pre-made from a box. It doesn't count. It's not like I cooked it. Which is an example of disqualifying the positive. And so because of the way I use filtering and then disqualifying the positive, I leave the meal feeling like, wow, that fell flat on its face. When really my friend really enjoyed it. And I've completely forgotten that a huge part of having dinner with a friend is being in their company, and I completely left that out. Third example. This also may sound familiar. I'm driving and a car honks, which leads to my first distorted thought. Oh my goodness gracious, they're honking at me! So after I personalized it, then I think, I bet they think I was texting and driving. Do you see what I did there? I read their mind. Probably not accurately, but I read their mind. But I'm not texting and driving, so my next thought is, what a jerk. Which is a label. And because I hold myself to a pretty high standard of behavior, wow, I'm such a nasty, rude person. How could I say that? I don't even know the guy. Which included another label, right? That nasty, rude person. But then when I think, so how could I have said that? That's thought action fusion, right? I thought something, I didn't actually say it. They're not the same. And so I wind up feeling mad at the other person, mad at myself, and hopefully I just keep driving, but it may have sort of, knocked my emotions, my happiness down a couple notches. All right, my final example is more specific to obsessive compulsive disorder. So the event that triggered the chain of thoughts that's going to come is that I feel a sticky residue on the kitchen table. And immediately I think, yuck, that's disgusting. This is a major, 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 major problem. And in that moment, I used emotional reasoning. I assumed that because I had a really big emotion, it was necessarily a really big problem. And then I think, the whole kitchen is a mess. It's teeming with germs. Which is overgeneralizing. I guess you could also argue like black and white thinking. Either way, I've taken one small spot that's a mess and turned it into the entire kitchen is a mess. And then I think, if I don't get it all the way clean, I will die of some horrible illness. Catastrophizing. And to wrap it all up, I come up with a solution to what I believe is a really big problem, and I think if I clean every surface 3 times and I shower 3 times, then I'll be safe. Which is a conclusion that's really warped by magical thinking, right? I'm thinking that the number 3, somehow if I do things 3 times, it will solve the problem. So you can see how, for pretend me in this scenario, you know, a little bit of a sticky patch on the table balloons into me doing, you know, an hour, maybe more of compulsions. It appears that I forgot to take a final picture with my thank you for watching card. So, thank you for watching. I'll have one more video about how changing these distorted thoughts can make you feel better. And then, yeah, I hope you found it interesting and join me again. Thanks. Bye.